Hello, everyone, and welcome to tonight's edition of Dead Talk Live. I'm your host, Viz, from Walking Dead Now. Our broadcast tonight and every night is simultaneously live streamed to YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter, starting at 9:30 p.m. Eastern U.S. time daily. I want to welcome all our first-time viewers. We hope you can stay with us for the next hour and participate in our very viewer interactive show. And a big thank you to all our regular viewers. I'm glad all of you are here with me tonight. If you haven't already done so, we ask that if you enjoy our show as well as our custom videos, that you please subscribe to our YouTube channel, which is called Walking Dead Now. For more information on our show, please visit our brand new website located at deadtalklive.com. As always, our producer, Marko, is going to be handling the text chatting, and I will be talking to you guys on the air. So how is everyone doing? Hello, Saz. Hello, Hard Productions on YouTube. Hello, everyone on Instagram. Kendra. There is Kendra Birchfield. Birch, thank you for joining me. Thank you actually for stepping up and saying hello. Kendra Birchfield is actually... how do I put this? She is my wife's playmate. Man, that so did not come out right. But my wife enjoys gaming. Yes, she is a big-time gamer, in particular ESO, Elder Scrolls Online. Big-time gamer, very high-ranked. And Kendra, no Marko, not Playboy. Kendra, a.k.a. Birch, is one of her online, secret group guilds in this massive online role-playing Let's Slay the Dragon games. And I've noticed Birch has been coming into the rooms the last couple of nights, but she has been saying hello, and she is an amazing player. And Steph Grasso is with us tonight, another playmate of my wife's. Steph is my wife's colleague at work. Wow. Yeah, I don't know what to say. I mean, too bad my wife's not listening to this, and she's inside playing her video game. And I want to thank Birch for taking the time and just stopping in and saying hello. I hope you have us in the background while you're playing. Anyway, that was a little side distraction. Hey, Summer from Twitter, thank you for joining us. Hard Productions, thank you for joining us on YouTube. Steph is laughing on Instagram. Marko writes, bad wife. Hey, Marko, that's your sister-in-law. That's your sister-in-law, Marko. Better watch what you say. So, anyway, guys, let's move on along here. Amori Taylor, hey, on YouTube, how are you doing? As you guys may have noticed, I posted the what I believe is the final Walking Dead webisode to my social accounts, minus YouTube. Yes, for the first time since posting on YouTube now for many months, I came across a video that they absolutely restricted it worldwide. Summer Springer is on YouTube now. All right, Summer. You have definitely moved up on your viewing experience. No disrespect to Twitter and Periscope, but YouTube is a much better viewing experience. So, yeah, I posted the final webisode. It's called The Oath. I hope a lot of you guys got to see it. It's on Instagram and Facebook, not on YouTube because they wouldn't allow it. And we found out the origins to the... Don't Enter Dead Inside spray-painted sign that Rick runs into when he wakes up from his coma. And we'll get to that in a bit, because as with the prior two episodes, I've got another question. Saz welcomes to the dark side, Summer. Very nice. Marco's Gamer Phoenix. Hi, Marco. Hola, how you doing? The rooms in Instagram is filling up nicely. Is a child. Yosef is joining us on Instagram. So let me, before we move on, This is the number, guys. If you guys want to talk and chat with me, it's 718-509-9270 if you're inside the United States. Just use any phone you want. Just regular calling rates apply. If you don't have a unlimited call plan or anything like that. If you're international, please use Skype. Just search for us. The name is Walking Dead Now. Add us to your favorites so you don't have to search again. And the call is completely free. It's a voice call. You guys don't have to worry about your face popping up on the screen. So we have the whole world covered. You can call us on Skype if you're outside the U.S. or if you're in the U.S., just call us at 718-509-9270. The phone lines are open as soon as the show starts, and they stay open throughout the whole show. So I have the window minimized sometimes, but I usually catch it when somebody calls. So let me put up the universal chat screen here so the people on Instagram can see what the people on the other 3 platforms are saying. Hey, Edward, on Facebook. I am so glad that we actually have an interactive Facebook user today. Good morning, Edward. We actually do have a lot of watchers on Facebook. I don't know if they're shy while they're watching this live, but they don't really interact that much on the chats. I'm hoping to change that. So Edward from Facebook, thank you so much for joining us. It is an honor to have you with us. Gen X is giving us a big thumbs up. Gen X 74 Atari. Gen X 74 Atari. Gen X, were you born in 74? Is giving us a big thumbs up on Instagram. I gotta ask you, Gen X, were you born in 74? Because I'm part of Generation X, and I was also born in 1974, and I also remember the Atari. So Gen X, let me know if we're from the same time period here, and thank you for joining us on Instagram, by the way. I am 5H has joined us. Hello, I am 5H, another regular face. Thank you for joining us on Instagram. So, hola el más Lup Capo on Instagram. Missy Joe, all awesome shows. Thank you, Missy. Thank you so much. Ismail has also switched to YouTube. Okay, Ismail. You know, I do have news on The Walking Dead, and I'm going to get to it here. I just want to reply to everybody as they're chatting in. Ismail, who has been up to this point a very loyal Instagram user, has now flipped over to YouTube as well, which is great. You know, all your YouTube watchers and all our regulars, it really doesn't mean that whole much to me. I love having you guys here on YouTube, but it does matter to YouTube as far as them, you know, and their stupid policies on indexing this after we're done with the live thing. So go ahead and click that big old thumbs up button just below your screen. Not for my ego. I know you guys are here and I love you guys, but it does matter to YouTube as far as them indexing this show after we're off the live part. Hard production rights. I have a question about Game of Thrones. In the beginning, when those guys found the body and were killed, was there a time jump after that? Or did they go somewhere else? I'm assuming a time jump. Oh, you're talking about the very, very first scene in the very first episode of Game of Thrones. I don't believe it's a time jump at all, if I'm remembering correctly. I watched all those episodes in a binge. Boom, one right after the other, very recently. And I know exactly what you're talking about. No, those characters that we see coming from the ice wall to patrol the north of the wall. Obviously, we don't see them again, but and they run into the White Walkers right away. I don't think there was a time jump. If I'm wrong, any other Game of Thrones fans out there, please correct me. But I don't believe there was a time jump. Okay? I don't believe there was a time jump. But what a great way to start off a series. You know, that was an awesome opening sequence of events to Game of Thrones to kick off the whole series. Okay, so moving on to the news, because someone on Instagram did ask about Walking Dead news. Ismail, dude, Ismail, are you flipping back and forth, dude? You're confusing me. He didn't like YouTube. Sorry, this is better. You know what? I wish we had more time because I'd really like to know your reasoning behind that. Instagram is great, but I just would really like to know your reasoning behind that. So you know what, Ismail? After the show, send me a message and explain that better to me so I can better understand. All right, moving on to the Walking Dead news. Okay, I got a whole bunch of interesting articles in my inbox today. Apparently, there are some leaks in the Rick Grimes movies about the plot line. It's going to involve some twisted human experiments being done, supposedly, because we're assuming he's held by the CRM. So they're conducting some twisted human experiments in an effort to find a cure to the zombie virus. Not too surprising. Rick is taken to a human encampment where these experiments take place. So I'm thinking, okay, maybe that's the whole reason for their A and B labeling. Maybe they have found some differences in different personality traits and to how that might affect the zombie virus. Zombika37 has joined us on Instagram. Welcome back, Zombika37. So yeah, I thought that was very interesting. It's leaks supposedly coming from some insider on the movie that they're doing it is worded twisted human experiments. That's their words, not mine. In an effort to find a cure to the zombie virus. And Rick is taken to one of these encampments, and he is set up to be tested on. And I'm sure, that's probably, if it is true, if that is the way the movie goes, it's probably going to be in the very beginning of the very first movie. Nicholas on YouTube writes, I'm so excited about it. Oh, we all are. We all are. But man, who knows when we're going to see it? Who knows when we're going to see it? I.M5H is asking people to follow them on Instagram. So there you go, I.M5H. I wanted to relay your message that you want people to follow you on Instagram. So I hope that little shout out helps you. Ismail writes, experimenting on Rick. That's what the article says. That's what the leak says. At least they're going to try to. I don't know how successful they're going to be, but the reason why they want these people and the reason why Jadis has been trading them in for a while is I guess they're using them as guinea pigs. Hard Productions writes, they better not touch Rick. Yeah, but wouldn't it be a great opener to the movie though? It's sort of like Terminus. They got to Terminus and they were, sucked in and they were lined up for dinner, to become dinner, not for dinner. And maybe the CRM has been snatching people up and doing some like Nazi wartime shit on them, experimenting to find out, no, not how to kill them better, but how to cure the zombie virus. So Ismail also writes they better not kill him. So I thought that'd be an interesting thing to share with you guys. It piqued my curiosity. There are also leaks about the season 11 Walking Dead plot line. And these leaks state that some members of the group are actually going to go on a mission to save Rick. So that leads us to assume that, because right now Judith and Michonne are the only two that know that Rick might still be alive. So obviously that secret gets out, and I would assume people like Daryl, people who really know Rick and love him. It was leaked that in the season somewhere, as sort of like a side plot line to the whole Commonwealth thing, that some members of the cast, some characters are going to go on a rescue mission for Rick. That's we just don't have enough information because the timelines are just so all over the place. And we don't know exactly how that's going to work out. You know what I mean? But I would assume if that does spill over into the movies, I'm thinking like the last movie, because there is a 6-year time jump where from when Rick was taken to where The Walking Dead is now. Now it's been like 7 years or so. So it'd be great if they show us what happens in the missing 6 years, and then they flip it over, and let's say, the people that do go searching for him find him or whatever in the third movie. And it would also be a great way to finish the series on TV, whenever that might be, whether it's 11, 12, 13, 14 seasons, whatever it is. I think it would be a great way to finish the series on, the TV series, The Walking Dead, not the movies, if they find Rick, rescue him, and bring him back. So that's just my opinion on that. Also, there was a lot of Walking Dead news today. Greg Nicotero finally came out and said that, well, basically he felt Glenn's death on both in the comics and on the TV show was completely senseless. And he was the one that directed the season 7 premiere. And he said it was very disturbing. It was very hard for him to direct it. Him and Scott Gimple had conversations about it. They both knew it had to be done in one way or another to progress Maggie's character. But overall, Greg Nicotero, who's one of the big head honchos on The Walking Dead, really that was a very hard episode for him to direct. And he didn't agree with how the comics killed Glenn off. He didn't agree how they also killed him off on the TV show. So Zombika writes, Glenn's death made me cry for real. Zombika37 on Instagram. Summer on YouTube. That would make sense why he didn't go back to ASZ. Summer? What do you mean by ASZ? Is that a typo? But anyway, some more Nicotero news and some more revelations from the same interview. He wanted Maggie to kill Negan in the beginning of season 8, preferably, or at least at some point during season 8. Now, season 8 was all out war. So, but Greg Nicotero had this idea for Maggie to kill off Negan at that point. I'm glad she didn't. But he went and pitched it again to Scott Gimple. And basically Gimple, I guess, overrode him, which I'm glad he did. Because Negan has become such an important character to us now on the show. And I gotta say, guys, when Scott Gimple was the main showrunner, we have Angela Kang now, who's the showrunner. I don't know. I really liked how Gimple did things on The Walking Dead. No offense to Angela Kang. I think she's doing an amazing job, especially with this latest season. But you can notice a difference, in when they changed showrunners. Showrunners are what they call now, what used to be called like the executive producers back in the day. Ismail agrees on Instagram. Condon writes, is Rick coming back to The Walking Dead? He's coming back in The Walking Dead movies. That's confirmed. Condon.aj on Instagram. He's coming back in 3 Walking Dead movies. Will he come back to the show in a few years? Maybe, maybe not. It all depends. Stuart Truthy's waving at us. Welcome, Stuart. Another regular on Instagram. So, the last revelation, that was the last revelation. Yeah. He wanted Maggie to kill Negan. At some point in season 8, he pitched the idea to Gimple. Gimple shot it down because Gimple had the foresight to see of how important Negan's character is going to be basically where he is right now. Oh, Summer writes, ASZ is Alexandria's safe zone. I think Rick would have found himself back to his family unless they messed with his mind with experimental drugs. True, Summer on YouTube? That's absolutely correct. Or a possible alternate theory to that is, what if he just found himself in a situation where he felt he was needed so badly for, let's say, the fate of humanity, that it was just so immense that it prevented him from going back to his family. You know, Michonne, Judith, does he even know that he has a son now, RJ? I mean, it would have to be something huge, and I've mentioned this in prior episodes. Either they messed with him, or he escaped, he joined up with a bunch of rebels that are anti-CRM, and they're trying to stop these human experiments, and he felt like he was needed there so much that it just outweighed him coming back to his family. But it would, if that is the case, I hope the writers really do make it realistic and make it something like just so huge, because throughout the whole series, it's all been about Rick and his family. So Hard Productions writes, I think Rick is a prisoner. Oh yeah, can't argue with that one. Reggie-Ann on Instagram, hello. She's saying hi. Alan has joined us on Instagram. Thank you for joining us, Alan. Lukic75 has joined us on Instagram. Welcome, Lukic. So that's it for the announcement parts. No birthdays today from The Walking Dead. If any of our viewers is celebrating a birthday today or in the next couple of days, step on forward, let us know so we can wish you a happy birthday. I'm going to get to the contest here. I have not introduced any new action figures. JIV79s, I thought Rick was dead. No, Jive79. No, Rick is not dead. Rick was taken away in a helicopter. He is very much alive. Very much alive, and they are making 3 Rick Grimes movies. Yes, he is very much alive. Rick is not dead. His whole group back in Alexandria, Hilltop, Kingdom, Oceanside, they all think he was dead. But, you know, the premises as to how Michonne left the show a couple of episodes ago was she's going to go looking for him because she found evidence that he might still be alive, which we know already that he is alive. Katie, giving us a big smiley love face. Right back at you, Katie. Thank you for joining us on Instagram. So let's get to our contest here, okay? A lot of our viewers already know what's going on. I'm going to explain it again for our first-time viewers. We are running a trivia contest at about 30 minutes into the show, where we are giving away Walking Dead collectible memorabilia. It's specifically action figures, and we have a lot of them. Let me show you the ones that we currently have on display for the taking. Poor Bungee Walker, he's still on the block. Nobody's picked him. Gareth is still available. And surprisingly to me, the Governor is also still available. That surprises me. Okay, the Governor is also still available. The Governor, you know, he has the replaceable face. You can get 2-eyed Governor or 1-eyed Governor. And we also have Beth, who's also still available. Gas Mask Riot Gear Zombie, who I tried yesterday to practically give away to yesterday's winner, who was Ismail, but he couldn't answer the bonus question. Sorry, Ismail. Zambika37 wants the Governor. Well, Zambika37, I hope you can get tonight's trivia. I really hope. Tonight's trivia question is not that hard. It's not that easy either, but it's not anywhere near one of our most complicated ones. People who have watched the show should be able to get this relatively easy. Ismail on Instagram writes, it's okay, just wasn't meant to be. Zabikas37 writes, me too. So, all right, Zombie, I'm rooting for you for tonight. So, going to our, sorry, wrong screen. Back to the phone number here. I'm going to ask a question here in less than 5 minutes. Basically, I'm going to read out a trivia question in regards to The Walking Dead. Your answers need to be called in. Chatting them in does not count. And at best, you're going to give somebody else the answer. You have to call in with the right answer. First person to call wins. In the U.S., the number is 718-509-9270. Outside the U.S., please use Skype. Search for our name, which is Walking Dead Now. Last time I checked, we're the only ones on Skype using that name, so we're very easy to find. Add us to your favorites, and you'll never have to search for us again. So I am monitoring the Skype lines. So starting right now, anybody who wants to talk to me, please give me a call. Okay. Basically, tonight, we're just going to touch upon this last webisode that I posted last night, The Oath. And I said I had another question as to, how it interacts is a good word, I guess, with the show and where we saw it. And I'm just going to start out with my question right away. Basically, we saw the origins of the "Don't Open Dead Inside" hospital doors, the ones that Rick encounters when he wakes up from his coma, and he gets out of his room and he's walking out all disoriented, and he sees the double doors, spray painted, dead inside, And we know that Rick was approximately in a coma for about 5 weeks. Now, if you guys watched the webisode that I posted, that wacko doctor who was in the hospital said that she's been in there for 5 months. So this webisode is like 5 months into the apocalypse, if we're just going by what she said. That doesn't line up with the whole Rick timeline. Rick was shot before anything was wrong with the world. Well, that's not completely accurate, but you guys know what I mean. He was shot before the zombie apocalypse broke out. Okay? And we know that, he was in a coma for approximately 5 weeks. And that just doesn't line up with the doctor and 5 months after the apocalypse and that sign being spray painted on there 5 months after the apocalypse. I don't expect you guys to have an answer. I don't know if this is something that they just changed on the fly. I don't know why they would do that. This webisode was not like a season 1 webisode. This webisode was released prior to, I believe, season 4. That's why they make these webisodes. They used to make them for the earlier seasons, is to promote the upcoming Walking Dead season. So I really don't know why they would put that misleading information in there. Was it just to confuse us? Or what? I have no idea. I really don't. I have no idea why they would, say it was 5 months in the webisode, and we know Rick was only in a coma for 5 weeks, and he gets up and the sign is already there. I have no idea. I have no theories. I have no answers. So that was my main issue. Besides that, I thought the webisode was great. It was great. That doctor, I knew from the moment I saw her, when she killed that walker, I knew she was bad news. She just looked creepy. I don't know if you guys agree with me or not, but she just looked very, very creepy. And I didn't trust her at all. And, she saw herself as like the angel of death. Yes, I'll give you guys a choice. They are choosing to die. And I am fulfilling their wishes. And even though it wasn't shown on screen, I'm pretty sure the dude blew her head off. Even though they didn't show that. I'm pretty sure he blew her head off. And what an ironic twist that the, his companion that he was traveling with, he didn't put her down after she turned into a walker. He put her in a straitjacket, pulled out all her teeth, and in his little monologue at the end says, "You're coming with me. You're coming with me." I thought that was pretty. That was a pretty good ironic twist. G10756 has joined us on Instagram. Welcome, G. YouTube has gone quiet. Are you YouTube people still with me? I hope I didn't lose the feed. So let's move on to tonight's trivia question. Hard Production writes, let me bring up the universal chat again. You see, wait, 1 second. Ismail,
What do you want?
going back to what you were saying between YouTube and Instagram, the reason why I have to constrain everything on the screen is for Instagram. You know what I mean? Because they only allow the certain format. You can't flip over to landscape mode on Instagram. So as you just saw when you went onto YouTube, I have a whole wide screen, 1080 with a static background, but everything is centered in the middle just so the Instagram people can see what's going on. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I was saying YouTube was a much better viewing experience. So you guys are still with us on YouTube. Hard Production writes, are the Webisodes canon? The walker going down with a chest shot? What are you talking? What you're talking about has me questioning it. Yeah. I mean, I don't get it. I don't understand it. I don't understand. And, you know, we've seen 3 webisodes now from The Walking Dead, and they have glaring discrepancies with the show. Huge. I don't get it. Hey, Michi on YouTube. Thank you for joining us on YouTube. Michi is joining us. So yeah, Hard Productions. I don't get it. I don't know what their reasoning is behind it. But that was the last one they made for The Walking Dead. They made a few for the Fear the Walking Dead. I posted the one with the aircraft, the airplane one. But anyway, okay. Condon.aj is waiting for the question. All right, Condon on Instagram. Here comes tonight's trivia question. I just wanted to make sure everybody was still with us. Zambika, just hold that thought. Let me read the trivia question because I did go beyond the 30 minutes. Okay, so first person to call, the number is right there on top of your screen. The first person to call in with the right answer gets to pick their action figure. So here's tonight's question. After Daryl spares Dwight's life at the end of All Out War, Dwight drives back to his home. He finds a note from his wife Sherry on their bedroom end table. If you remember, Sherry escaped the Savior Sanctuary. What did Sherry write on that note? That is tonight's trivia question. What exactly did Sherry write on the note that Dwight found when he returned home after All Out War, as he went looking for his wife, as Daryl told him to do? Daryl told him to start making it right. You need to go find her. And as we saw in Fear the Walking Dead, he spends a long time trying to find her. So the first person to call in with the right answer gets to pick any of our available action figures. And Hard Production writes, if no one calls, I will. Okay, well, the lines are open till the end of the show. And I'm sure a lot of people are Googling it right now. So, you know, it's up to you. Oh, we do have a caller. Let's see who we've got. Welcome. You're on Dead Talk Live with Viz. What's your name?
Hello, this is Maria.
Hey, Maria. How are you tonight?
Hi. Yes, I think it's I'm here.
No, Maria, that is not the right
Oh,
answer.
darn.
I'm so sorry.
Okay.
I'm so sorry.
It's all right.
But thank you for calling. Thank you for calling.
Thank you. I'm
problem.
Zambika, so
I hope
that's
you
too
try
bad.
again. No, it's all right. I hope you try
Thank
again.
you.
Thank you for watching us.
I will.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Okay. So that was Maria. Oh, we have Hard Productions. He's calling. Hard Productions, you there?
Wait, what were you saying? You were breaking up. I couldn't understand you.
I said Hard Productions was calling us. I saw your caller ID. So, how are you doing tonight?
I'm doing good. How about you?
Oh, well, hanging in there, hanging in there. Just enjoying the show, enjoying talking to you guys. And, so I don't think I need to repeat the question to you. I think you knew it right away. So what's your answer?
Was it honeymoon?
With what?
Infinity symbol,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
Okay.
You are absolutely correct. It was the word honeymoon with the symbol for infinity right below it. Ismail writes, oh, she wanted the governor. Well, the governor's still available. Well, we don't know because Hard Productions hasn't picked yet. Terrence_Nicholas giving you a thumbs up. Marco is congratulating you, Hard Productions. So this is the fun part there, Hard Productions. You get to pick your prize. So, Bungee Walker, Gareth, the Governor, Beth, Gas Mask, Riot Gear, Zombie. Wait, did I miss? No, that's it. That's what we have. We have 6. Bungee Walker, Gareth, the Governor, Beth, and Riot Gear, Zombie. We've got 5 of them on the table. So which one do you choose?
Bungee zombie.
Oh, not because I said that yesterday. Are you picking him because I said that you're probably going to pick him? I mean, do you...
Oh, no, I just...
Go on.
I just have a thing for the zombies. I'm trying to collect, like, the zombies ones.
That's awesome. And you know what? I think Bungee Walker is amazing. And out of all the walkers that we've displayed so far, I was surprised that he's still available. Now, the Gas Mask Riot Gear Zombie, I can sort of understand, he was there for a split second, but the Bungee Walker, if you guys don't remember, Bungee Walker is the one that was in the season 4 episode 1 premiere when they raided that supermarket looking for supplies, and there were a whole bunch of walkers on the roof, and the roof collapsed, and Bungee Walker was one of them, where he was dangling from the roof by his guts. So that's a very memorable scene. Marco writes, Bungee Walker is great. Zambika37 on Instagram writes, oh darn. Good night then. All right, Zambika. You can try again tomorrow, okay? And we have a lot more action figures, Zambika. A lot more. The really good ones are coming out. So, Ethan, you want to stay on the line with me for a little while?
Yeah, sure.
I mean, I'd love having a co-host. And I know you're one of the very best knowledgeable people on The Walking Dead. So, stay on the line with me. Share your thoughts on the webisodes. What are on the questions that I raised? What do you think?
I don't know. It was a little crazy watching the walker go down with the chest shot, and I haven't watched I think the Oath. Is that what it is? I haven't seen that one yet.
Yeah. It is called The Oath. It's not on YouTube because YouTube completely blocked it due to copyright. I couldn't post it. So it is on my Instagram.
I've had a lot of trouble with that.
Yeah, it is on my Instagram account, which the links are in any one of my YouTube videos. So you can go to my Instagram or go to my Facebook page, and you can watch the complete version. I actually recorded it in HD because the ones that were out there were really crappy quality. So I just recorded the whole set, edited it as one big long piece, and you could just rewatch it again. You just have to go to Instagram or Facebook to watch them. So you feel the same way about all those questions, that just the discrepancies, let's say, about the webisodes. And there's no real answer to them, no real answer. But if you take them on their own, let's put aside the discrepancy. Summer also on YouTube is writing, good job. She actually knew the answer. So good job, Summer. Warlock, Lucifer Warlock on YouTube is joining us. Hey, Lucifer. What's up? What's up, man? Saz says, hey, Lee. So, putting aside those discrepancies, hard productions, and if you just take them on their own, what are your feelings on them?
I really liked them. I enjoyed watching all of them.
Absolutely.
I thought they were good.
They were good. And my favorite is actually Torn Apart. You know, the first one where we got to find out the background to that half torso lady. That, to me, that was, I don't know, I just enjoyed that very much. A lot of people liked the second one, Cold Storage. You know, I like that one too very much, but I don't know, I like Torn Apart, the first one, just a little bit more.
Yeah. I think Torn Apart and Cold Storage was my favorite. Those two, they were really close.
Yeah. So let me ask you, I mean, have you been watching the Walking Dead live since it like first aired in 2010, or did you like wait and like binge to catch up?
I believe the first live episode I watched was season 6, episode 9. I remember watching it with my mom because she was into it.
Oh, cool. So, did you watch it like without seeing any prior episodes, or had you binge watched all the way up until that point so you can know what was going on?
I had seen a few episodes because I remembered Merle when he died, but I didn't binge watch it because I wasn't really into it. And then I watched that episode, and then I got into it, and I went back through and binge watched and caught up and watched the season 7 premiere, which was really hard to watch.
Yeah, so you actually, when you watched that very difficult episode, the season 7 premiere, when you watched that, you were already all caught up.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, so how do you feel? Because that you did it at a very strange time, and because of the season 6 finale cliffhanger that everybody hated just because it was a cliffhanger, with them lined up and Negan waving his bat and us not knowing who's going to die, and they made us wait 8 months to figure it out. I mean, I'm glad you took that opportunity to catch up. Serlene on Instagram is waving at us. Hello, Serlene. How you doing? So it was very hard for me to watch that season 6 finale with Negan just waving his bat, and then I'm like, no, they're not going to end it right here. They're going to at least show us who he picks, and then, okay, you can end it. So at least we know who we can prepare as to who's going to die in the season 7 premiere, but they didn't. And there was a big uproar. I don't know if you were looking at social media after that episode aired or not, but there was a huge uproar from the fans. They were very pissed off. And not that the episode was bad, they were just pissed off that they have to wait 8 months to find out what happens. Did you feel the same way?
Yeah, I did, but I didn't have to wait as long because when I finished rewatching, it was kind of closer to the release of season 7.
Okay. All right. So that is pretty good. That is pretty good. You know, the wait time for you is not as bad, and you get to, you had the opportunity to catch up on all the prior seasons and episodes. Now, earlier in our show, you mentioned Game of Thrones. Did you watch the whole first episode of Game of Thrones, or did you just watch a few minutes?
I watched episode 1 and 2.
What do you think?
It was really good.
It's an amazing show, and it's kind of similar to The Walking Dead, not in the obvious ways that you would think of, but in just how twisted people can become, humanity in general. I'm not going to spoil anything for you, but as you watch deeper into the show, and you'll see all the really messed up stuff that happens on that show and how amazing it is. You'll see how it really does mirror The Walking Dead, And I was thinking about this last night as far as the name of, like they gave the White Walkers. And I was trying to figure out, so did The Walking Dead take that from Game of Thrones, or did Game of Thrones take that from The Walking Dead? Because it's kind of funny that they would call, their living dead on both shows walkers. On The Walking Dead, they're just walkers, and on Game of Thrones, they're called White Walkers. But I know Game of Thrones was a novel, and I believe the first ever Game of Thrones novel came out well before The Walking Dead hit the screens. So I think it was like The Walking Dead that just, But you know what? Let me rephrase that, or let me change my answer. Because The Walking Dead was also not a novel, but it was a comic book for years before Game of Thrones. So honestly, I don't know the answer. And I don't know the author offhand on who wrote the Game of Thrones books. And I believe they're still in the process of writing the books. They're not done with it in the books part. But it'd be interesting to find out, to line up. You have Robert Kirkman, who's doing the Walking Dead comics. And then you have the author of the Game of Thrones. And I would love to find out, as far as the writing goes, which one came out first. I'm just curious. I'm just curious to find out who stole whose idea. Oh, Saz, George R.R. Martin. Thank you, Saz. That's why I love having you on this show. Saz, you got to become like, you and Marko are like, I don't know what I'd do without you two. So Saz, check on YouTube. Give us the author's name for Game of Thrones. It's George R.R. Martin. Now, Saz, you wouldn't happen to know the year that the first Game of Thrones novel hit the shelves, do you? I don't know. I have no idea. What I do know, though, Hard Productions, is that my wife actually read a couple of the novels, and she knew what was happening, and just her knowing on how messed up the show is going to get is what actually prevented her from watching it while it was airing live on HBO. But finally, when the series did end and we were looking for something to watch, we're like, let's just watch it, because we felt so left out. We felt everybody around us had watched Game of Thrones except us. So that's when we decided to watch it. But for the first several seasons, she knew exactly what was going to happen. And, so I don't want to say too much. I don't want to spoil it for the people who haven't watched it. And Saz writes us that she believes the first Game of Thrones novel came out in 1996. And that would absolutely, without a doubt, predate The Walking Dead. So,
yeah, I think the Walking Dead was 2002 or 3, somewhere in there.
Yeah. So 1996 was the first novel that Game of Thrones was written. That's when it came out. So George R.R. Martin does get the credit for the Walker name. I'm not saying that Robert Kirkman stole it, because God knows throughout the Walking Dead series, we have seen our fair share of what every group calls these zombies. Because we all have to remember, in the Walking Dead universe, the word zombie does not exist. I don't know how many of you guys know that or not. I'm sure you probably figured it out by now. But the word zombie does not exist in the Walking Dead universe. So that's why when you run into all these different groups, you have the group that we're familiar with, that walkers. And while I have you on the line here, Hard Productions, this is a very easy question. Do you know who started the term walkers on The Walking Dead? Who was the first one ever to actually come up with it?
Morgan.
Yes.
Wasn't it?
Yes.
Morgan. Yeah.
Absolutely. It was Morgan. Yep. It was Morgan. And from Morgan, it got passed on to Rick. And then Rick passed it on to the camp group. Saz. Yep. It was Morgan. And now it is just it's what everybody's
everywhere.
calling them. Yeah, it's everywhere. And then now Morgan went over to Fear, and it's a spread there. Hey, Lee. Welcome back, Lucifer. He's back with us on YouTube. So yeah, it was Morgan who started the term walkers, and it's become, the popular phrase. But let's just recount just some of the different names these people have come up with for these zombies. I mean, obviously, we have walkers. We have what? Rotters.
Biters.
Biters.
Rome.
God, there's so many.
I think.
Yeah.
I
Biters.
think I heard freak.
Saz also says lame brains. What did Princess call them? Princess had a name for them. Face Occulta on YouTube. Sorry you don't speak English. Thank you for joining us. But Lee Warlock writes, Mr. Viz, what can I miss your show? I like your show. Well, good, Warlock. I like you. I like having you on our show. This is our show, Lee. It's not my show. It's our show. You guys are what makes this show so good. I'm just repeating what you guys are saying. So it's you guys are what makes this show so great. Does anybody? Hey, Saz, do you know what name Princess had for the walkers? I believe she had a name when she met up with Ezekiel, Yumiko, and Eugene. I think she called them Rotters. That's another name, Rotters. And Hard Productions. When you do watch The Oath, it is actually the first webisode where we see a character referring to the dead, and she refers to them as the decays, which I think is kind of lame. But yeah, you'll see it when you watch it. You'll see that she calls the dead the decays. So that's just another name to add to the list right there. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, so I assume since you started watching the show in season 7, episode 1, and that's the first you really were caught up, and the real first live episode you saw being caught up. I assume you haven't missed a week since, right?
No.
Yeah.
I believe I missed a few in season 8 because of, I don't remember, but I remember I had to catch up on the first half of season 8.
Okay.
And then I didn't miss anything after that.
Okay. That's understandable. I mean, I don't sit and watch them right at 9 o'clock on Sundays. I usually do watch them on Sundays. I got AMC Premiere recently. And even though I do have AMC Premiere, I try not to watch it on Friday nights because on AMC Premiere, they premiere the episode 48 hours before it hits TV. I try not to watch it. I've posted clips. It's kind of a tricky thing. I'm trying to post highlights for the people that haven't seen it yet, but non-spoiling highlights, but yet in the same time, also not spoil it for myself. So it's a very tricky fine line that, comes out. But I don't know if you remember Hard Productions. Hello, Lisa Photographer on Instagram. Thank you for joining us, Lisa. Thank you so much for being with us tonight. I announced this a while ago, and I said that whenever we do get an air date for the finale, I am going to do a after show Dead Talk Live. I know, we have Talking Dead that premieres right after the finale. So you guys can have a choice. You guys can watch Talking Dead with Hardwick, or you can watch me. And actually saying that out loud is probably it's not the best idea because I don't think I'm going to win. So maybe I'll do it after Hardwick. You know what I mean? Missy Joe writes, where is the new chapter? Yeah. Ethan, Hard Production, saying that out loud, I'm like, I don't want to compete with Hardwick. So maybe I'll do my live show after Chris Hardwick. You know what I'm saying? Saz writes, Viz all the way. I can record Hardwick. Ha, thank you, Saz. Anyway, Hard Productions, we're almost to the end. Thank you so much, congratulations on Bungee Walker. Congratulations on winning the trivia contest tonight. Thank you for being a loyal viewer. And I love to continue. Well, I know we're going to continue seeing you, and we'll be chatting online, okay?
Okay.
Thank you so much for calling in.
Thank you for having me.
No problem, sir. No problem. Okay, bye-bye.
All right, goodbye.
All right, guys. So there you have it. That was Hard Productions from YouTube. Very loyal viewer of ours for a long time now. Speaking of long time, today's our 25th episode. 25th. I know it's not a big, huge number, but yeah, we've been on for 25 straight days. And I'm nowhere near running out of stuff to talk about. So Lisa Photographer writes, where's the new chapter? You know it is one of my favorite series. Lisa, are you talking about Game of Thrones, or are you talking about The Walking Dead? Let me know if you're talking about Game of Thrones or The Walking Dead, Lisa, on Instagram. So anyway, guys, we're almost approaching the end. This hour just flies by. It's just so much fun. I don't know how else to put it. I just love sitting here and talking with you guys and sharing, talking about our favorite show, talking about everything. I want to thank all you guys for joining me. It's been another amazing episode. Thank you to all our regulars, Saz, Hard Productions, Warlock, Ismail, who did a little switcheroo. He started out on YouTube, and then he switched on over to Instagram. And I'm expecting that message after the show, Ismail, as to why you didn't like YouTube and you went back to Instagram, because I'd really like to know the answer to that one. I want to thank all our Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, Instagram followers. You guys are amazing. Missy Joe writes, new chapter of The Walking Dead. You mean the finale, the episode? We don't know. We don't know when the finale is going to air. I don't even think the cast and the crew know. A very select number of people may have an idea when it might air. PK Aaron _136 is with us on Instagram. So yeah, Missy, we don't know when the finale is going to air. No idea. It can be in a couple of weeks. It could be in a couple of months. They were down to just video effects, is what we're being told. So I'm hoping it's sooner rather than later, but I have no idea. It's just, I guess heightening the, I don't know what's the right word, just our anticipation for the finale when it does air. And I will be doing an after show special, probably after Talking Dead, because I don't want to compete with Chris Hardwick. So hopefully you guys can join me after that Sunday night, after the show, after Talking Dead, and we can discuss it on here as well. Again, thank you all you guys. Thank you to Marko. He's been very busy manning the chats tonight. So thank you, Marko, for manning the chats. Thank you, Ismail. Thank you all to all our Instagram followers and loyal viewers. I will be back on the air tomorrow night at 9:30 p.m. Just as always, please visit our Dead Talk Live website at deadtalklive.com. You can get all the information about the show. If you want to share it with somebody, that'd be great. And thank you guys. Thank you so much from the bottom of my heart. And until tomorrow, stay walking.